Ja. Jetzt mit ihr sprechen?
What is more important than speaking to me, may I ask?
I apologize, Miss Mayor. My editor is a very strict man, and I must take pictures for him right away. Please, you'll have to wait for the time being.
Na dann. Warten wir mal noch. Ihn konnten wir schon überreden. Wir können ja mal zu Mikes.
That bad, huh? What's wrong with her?
We don't know. The doctors won't even look at her because we can't pay. All we know is that she's really sick.
Aw, buck up, little buddy. Hey, you know what I think will make you guys feel a lot better? How about a nice big piece of cake?
Yay! Cake!
Okay, one cake, special orphan price. That'll be $29.99 excluding tip.
What? We don't have any money, Mike.
No money, no cake, kiddo. You want something just for showing up? What do you think this is? Communist Russia? But, well, in your case, I'll make an exception. Just don't tell the man in the gas station.
No socialist dessert distribution under capitalism.
Da sind wir schon. Michael?
Greetings, Michael.
Well, there goes everyone's appetite. Why are you here?
I was just wondering if you knew anything about the plane crash.
Not much. Wasn't your boyfriend the pilot? Did he fake his death to get away from you?
That was low, Michael, even for you.
Oh, so you... Oh, yeah. Jeez, I'm sorry, Eliza. Force of habit. I should have thought about what I was saying.
It's all right, Michael. I am sure I will have the opportunity to verbally destroy you again soon. But I simply do not have the motivation right now.
Sure. And I just want to say...
No, please do not.
That in the grand scheme of things, we're both still human beings, and...
Michael, please.
If you ever need someone to talk to about all this, ask someone else.
Thank you, Michael. On a day like this, it is good to know that some things have not changed.
Wie kann dieser Imbiss
How is it
überleben?
possible that the last 3 mayors tried to close this place down, yet all have failed?
Silly Eliza. This diner has been here longer than the town itself. My ancestor, Miguel Caminante, founded La Taberna de Miguel over 500 years ago on this very spot. And ever since then, there's been a Barrett trying to take it down, and failing.
I will find a way to destroy it, Michael. And you know I always get my way.
And I say, bring it on!
Erzähl mir doch mal die Geschichte.
Michael, I've read a few files containing records about this establishment. And let me just say, every single word was a nightmare. Poe would be jealous.
Hey, thanks!
That was not a compliment. Regardless, I find myself with some outstanding questions.
Do your worst! I got nothing to hide from you! Well, nothing besides what I'm already hiding from you!
Ein Familienbetrieb ist das, ja?
How did your family come to open a restaurant here?
My ancestor Miguel was sentenced to death by Hernan Cortez!
Why would someone like Cortez bother with a walker?
Well, Miguel was in charge of feeding the crew, but after misplacing some ingredients, they accused him of witchcraft and attempted murder. He managed to escape with his pockets full of Aztec gold, which he used to build his tavern. He had one dream, to become the greatest chef in the world.
My condolences. So, this place was financed by stolen gold and built on top of a cursed graveyard.
Your point being?
My point being, this dump is double cursed. Which actually explains a lot, if you think about it.
But, Eliza, 2 negatives make a positive. So my diner's not double cursed, it's super blessed. That's just basic math.
Das stimmt. Ist es logisch? Nein.
Who will inherit the Walker legacy after you are finally after you?
Betty, of course! She's perfect! She loves the job. She already knows half of my secret recipes.
Michael, would you excuse me for a moment?
Oh oh.
Pardon me, where were we? Ah, yes. You know what? I have heard enough from you on this topic.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Na dann, zurück zu dem anderen Thema.
I'm surprised you let all these unsupervised children hang around the diner.
You should be grateful these kids are here, because they just gave me a great idea.
Michael, we have been over this 1,000 times. Unhomed is not the same as free range. Children are not the same as veal, and
Actually, what I was gonna say is that I propose a deal. I'll waste my vote on you if you promise to expedite the adoption paperwork.
you want to adopt them. Why? So you can have an unpaid waitstaff?
Or maybe because it breaks my heart to see a bunch of homeless kids. Look, how about I also renamed the Stanky Mayor Special? That sweeten the deal?
That is not a dish. That is a pile of oozing trash you put in a bowl and refuse to throw out.
Okay, how about this? You push through that paperwork and I'll start a new promotion. Bring in one Barrett campaign leaflet, get a free slice of pie and soda. What do you think of that?
All right, Michael, my answer is
Nicht in, vielleicht ein anderes Mal. Wir sind ja höflich halbwegs.
no.
Look, Eliza, can I just talk to you normally for a second here?
Hm,
Lorraine's a
ist schon die
nice
ganze
lady,
Zeit.
but she can't keep up with a bunch of wild kids. I got a big empty house, plenty of food, lots of stuff for them to do. Just think about it, would you?
No.
The only thing to think about is whether to call Amos or CPS if I see you near those children again.
There's that famous Barrett compassion. Maybe this is a good time for you to find the door.
Ho, ho, ho. Warum willst du
Why do
ja?
you insist on cooking for a living, Michael? Why not try something for which you are better suited?
Zum
Smell
Beispiel?
testing underarm deodorants? Cleaning up vomit at an amusement park? Or perhaps Roscoe needs help aiming during breeding season?
Why do you insist on being a politician, Eliza? Why not try something you're better suited to? Like, shutting up!
Wow, what a comeback.
Ja, ja, ja. Na dann, Kids, was macht ihr
No matter
denn?
what happens, I know Sandy will be okay.
I have no time for games. Ugh, children.
Gross, a grown-up. Miss Mayor, do you mind? We're trying to hold an important meeting.
Mhm. Mr. Turner, Mr. Lee und Mr. Moore.
Boring.
If this is actually anything like ketchup.
Hey, no outside.
Ja, hat sich das ja hier erledigt. Oh,
Holy smokes! Is that a giant cockroach? Is he cooking?
Hey, I got earn a living somehow. Besides, what's the problem? You've been eating it since you got here. Where do you think all your school cafeteria food comes from?
Ew!
Kids, leave Rocco alone.
sehr schön. Warum nicht? Dann müssen wir irgendwie zu den Mafiosis kommen. Aber einmal hier quer durch. Vielleicht ist er auch in seinem... Nein, Lädchen ist er nicht. Wir müssten dann einmal hier lang gehen. Hopp, hopp, hopp. Dieser läuft Galopp. Und dann gehen wir einmal hoch. Hier
I am
reingehen.
not sure why we have a costume shop in town. but I am grateful for it now.
Ja, und wie kommen wir da rein? Wer ist der Eigentümer?
Marco, I need you to stop by the spot tonight to receive our regalino.
Earlier than we expected.
Yes, but I still want you to be careful. We have never worked with this Tucker fellow before.
It'll be fine, boss. It's just a routine pickup.
Just keep an eye out, would you? Both for the shipment and for trouble.
Trouble, huh? Like the Syndica over there?
Hello, Syndica. What brings you to my humble abode?
Greetings, Mr. Cooper. I must say, your definition of humble clearly differs from mine.
Oh, this? It's nothing special. Just a little reminder of the old country. But I am sure you did not come here to discuss architecture, did you?
I believe that is all I needed to discuss.
Buona notte, Syndica. Now come here and say goodnight to me.
But boss,
What, not even a little smooch?
what if someone's looking?
We're alone, boo-boo, I promise.
All right. If you have business with the boss, Syndica, it'll have to wait. It's past his bedtime.
I could use someone like you in my employ, you know.
It's nice of you to say that, but I only take orders from one person, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. Now, what is this really about?
I think it is about time we discussed what a couple of mobsters are doing in my town.
Every time. People look at us, see two sharply dressed Italian gentlemen, and immediately assume we're mobbed up. It's a stereotype, and it's offensive, and as the Syndica, you should be the last person to say.
Please, spare me the theatrics, Mr. De Luca. Your story has more holes than a woodpecker's nest. But worry not. I am willing to turn a blind eye, so long as your business dealings do not cause problems for me. Are we clear?
Duly noted. I'm glad we never had this conversation. Is there anything else you don't want to talk about?
Erzähl mir von ihrer
Tell me about your past.
Do I have a choice?
Nein.
Not really, no.
I had a comfortable life until I became an orphan at 14. After that, I roamed the streets of Sicily with a crew of other orphans. Oh, we were always getting in trouble. Back then, my gang was rivals with another group of street kids. So, one day, 5 of them corner me, 4 grab my limbs, and then the last guy just starts punching. I really thought that was it. But then, a shadowy figure appeared. He honked so loudly that the other kids got scared and ran away.
Honked?
Yes, ma'am. A flamingo named Federico saved my life. He nursed me back to health and took me in. He even quit his job with the circus to make sure I grew up right.
That is touching. Weird, but touching.
Das ist weird. Ja, wann haben sie denn
When
beschlossen,
did you
hierher zu
decide to
kommen?
come to America?
Federico found out I had a living relative in America, my cousin Vinny. He offered me a job as kitchen staff in his restaurant, so I decided to move to Chicago with him. I rose through the ranks pretty quickly, although it may not have been in my best interests.
Why would you say that?
Some funny business was going on in the back of the shop. Turns out, Cousin Vinny was not the honorable restaurateur everyone thought he was. One day, I was peeling potatoes when I heard this big commotion in the dining area. Then, I saw my cousin being held at gunpoint by a bunch of guys in fancy suits. There was no time to think. I just jumped on them like a hungry hippo. The way I worked them over really impressed my cousin's associate, Mr. Abruzzi. Mr. Abruzzi had big plans for me in his organization, and Federico wasn't happy about that.
When I accepted the position, it created a big rift between us. And before we really had the chance to patch things up, the Duck Wars broke out.
Duck Wars. Was ist das?
Tell me about the Duck Wars.
Dio mio, what a tragedy. I've never seen such pointless bloodshed in all my life. It all started during the war, after Italy surrendered. The Germans didn't take that news well, especially not Blondie.
Blondie?
Just the most evil dog to walk the face of the earth. And unfortunately, Federico's ex-fiancée. Blondie ordered the Angel of Death himself to create a biological weapon capable of making flamingos extinct.
That is terrible. But look at the bright side. They could have been eaten to extinction by Dutch sailors, like the dodo.
That would have been a better, quicker, and more humane way to go. See, they used subliminal messages and ultraviolence to turn a bunch of ducks into killing machines. Federico and his friends had just gone out for a swim when those killer ducks were released into the pond.
You have my deepest sympathies, Mr. DeLuca.
At least he died doing what he loved the most. Standing on one leg and eating tiny shrimp.
Ja, wer ist dieser
You
Abruzzi?
mentioned a man named Abruzzi. Would that be Joseph the Rampant Stallion Abruzzi?
Yeah,
Psycholose Hengst.
the work I did for him would make Federico roll in his grave. But, well, once you're in this line of work, the only way out is in a body bag. It was a dark time. I thought about ending it all, to be honest.
Why did you not?
Well, the boss happened. Our first job together changed something in me, and suddenly I had the urge to live.
Das ist aber nett.
Who will inherit your boss's many business ventures when he passes?
That's a strange question. Why are you asking me that?
I did see you playing with our charming local orphans earlier.
Are you suggesting we adopt the kids?
Food for thought.
I'll talk to Frank.
Warum? Was hat das denn mit den Kindern aus sich? Wir haben doch jetzt das Hotel sozusagen schon für sie reserviert.
You strike me as someone who keeps an ear to the ground.
Also es gibt noch mehr Waisenkinder.
Yeah.
Haben Sie schon mal Jack Riley gehört?
Have you heard of a Jack Riley?
Jack Riley, the ghost of Illinois. Bank robber, drug dealer, weapon smuggler. Loves to gossip, kind of dramatic. Smells like an old hooch bottle.
Yes, him.
Never heard of the guy.
Nie gehört.
Does the name Richard Harrelson sound familiar to you?
Richard Mad Dog Harrelson? Going for hire, sentenced to life in Chino, escaped due to a bureaucratic flub. Tall, well-built, with more scars and tattoos than you can count.
Yes.
No, never heard of him. By the way, how did you find out about Harrelson?
Harrelson? I have never heard of him.
Fair enough.
By any chance, does Desert Viper ring a bell?
That depends on who's asking, why, and how much they think they know already.
Not much, actually. That is what I am trying to figure out.
Then a word to the wise. Keep your hands off the basket of apples. Snakes always strike when they're cornered. It's much better if you just let them be.
Snakes? Apples? Wait a minute. That insubordinate coffin dodger. I will be back if there is anything else I do not want to talk to you about.
Please don't hesitate not to talk to me again.
Doch die Obstverkäuferin, oder? Sie müssen mir
Mr.
helfen.
DeLuca, I am sure you agree that protecting the town's economy should be our top priority.
Couldn't agree more. The question is, why tell me this?
A nefarious subject is planning to rob our bank and...
Worry not, Syndica. Mr. Riley is aware of what he can and cannot take. Just what's in Mike's security box in the safe, and not a single penny more.
Excuse me?
Just relax. Everything he's gonna take is covered by insurance. Nobody will lose a dime, and we'll get the claim payout.
You and Mr. Cooper are devious, amoral, and will clearly stop at nothing to get what you want. I wish I could hire you both for my next administration. I shall leave you to your duties, Mr. DeLuca.
Thank you.
Quite a pet you have there.
Oh, Sparkles. I know she looks scary, but she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Unless...
Unless the boss told her to. Or someone was trespassing. Or if someone called her mittens, she hates that.
On a completely unrelated note, do you happen to know why some of the dogs in town have disappeared?
What is dag? Sparkles, amore mio, you see a dag around here?
Alles da drin in der Hütte, was?
See? She don't know either.
Na dann, hat sich das geklärt. Mr. Flamingo. Flamingo-Haltung. Na, da gehen wir doch mal auf den Markt. Und sprechen da mit Lorraines. Ist nicht da.
Lorraine, open up. We need to talk.
What on earth, Eliza? Can't this wait until tomorrow?
Does the name Desert Viper ring a bell?
Desert Viper? What is that? The new dish at Mike's?
Ja. Du bist die Wüstennatter.
God damn it, Lorraine. Stop pretending. You are the Desert Viper.
Eliza,
Do you lack a conscience, Lorraine?
I know. My guns kill thousands of innocent people.
What? No. I mean, yes, obviously they do, but that is not what I meant. Do you know what the taxes on firearms and ammunition are? I think you owe me, Lorraine.
Hey, let's not do anything hasty, dear. Come on, please, let's talk about this.
Let me explain what will happen to you now. First, you solemnly swear not to ever involve Betty in this trash. Do not sell her anything.
Come on, I'm not stupid.
Second, I want to know where these weapons are coming from.
Well, if you must know, all my special produce comes from one place. The Kirtland farm.
You mean to tell me that the
Yes.
army is your supplier, straight out of Albuquerque? Preposterous. Hartman would never let something like this happen.
Oh, please, Eliza.
General Hartman.
That knucklehead ex-husband of yours hasn't realized he has a daughter. You think he's paying close attention to the munitions inventory? You crack me up, Eliza.
Damn it, John.
Ja. Okay. Nette Frau.
It would be a shame for such a nice woman to end up behind bars.
Oh, jeez. I always knew this would come someday. What do you want?
Well, that depends on you and what you are willing to sacrifice.
Okay, fine. If money will satisfy you, I'll give you more than you can ever spend. But I can't hand over a huge amount all at once. It'll look suspicious.
The details do not concern me. Oh, and one more thing. Would you happen to have an M1 Garand in stock?
What? Why would you need a weapon like that?
If you have one, I suggest you hand it over, right now.
No, you don't understand. This is a special order.
Oh, not to worry, Lorraine. I am sure your client will understand.
Oh,
Na also, komm, raus damit. Jawohl. Warum nennt man dich Wüstennatter?
Why do
Vor allen
they
Dingen
call
gleich
you the
gegenüber
Desert
der
Viper?
I know
Polizei.
it's a bit corny, but my dad always called me affectionate things like that.
You think Desert Viper is a term of affection?
As opposed to what? Offspring?
Fair point.
Ja, fair point. Bin überrascht. Na, eigentlich nicht, oder?
I am surprised Amos has not sniffed this out yet.
Ha! Amos couldn't find himself in a mirror.
Do not underestimate him, Lorraine. He may be distracted by a questionable case right now, but he will certainly catch up to you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've been next to the police station all year, and he never suspected a thing.
Well, you cannot say I did not try to warn you.
Lorraine. Es ist ein sehr gefährliches...
Lorraine, this is a highly dangerous game you are playing.
Maybe, but it's one I've played all my life, and I know what I'm doing.
But surely the consequences must keep you up at night.
Yes, they do keep me awake all night. Counting money!
Na dann.
Restitution.
What was that?
Solltest deine Schulden bei mir und der Gesellschaft? Warte mal. Dafür sorgen, dass die Coyotes die Stadtmeisterschaft, ich bin im Begriff, die höchste Ehre zuteil
I am about to
lassen.
bestow upon you the highest of honors.
Was ist denn
You
das?
shall bankroll my presidential campaign.
And when the press finds out your majority contributor is an arms dealer?
Oh, trust me, that is nothing compared to how most presidential campaigns get funded. Pleasure doing business with you, Lorraine. Oh, just one more thing before I go. You and Tucker are voting for me.
Okay.
Oh, and I also require the votes of your children and grandchildren to really ensure my silence.
But I don't have any children.
Well, then you'd better start working on that right away.
Ja, genau. Genau, das ist dann so. Die ploppen dann raus. Einmal gepoppt, nie mehr gestoppt. Jetzt haben wir ja immerhin schon mal die Waffe. Jetzt müssen wir noch irgendwie uns verkleiden. Ich würde aber erstmal in den Park schauen.
Lorraine's low-caliber fruits, how can I help you?
It's Cooper. You got my stuff?
Oh yes, I have your shipment right here.
Bene.
But there's a little problem.
No, sto bene. What problem?
I don't have the Garand.
Stupid vecchia strega! Do you know what I will do to you if you don't deliver?
Look, it was all cleaned up and ready to go, and then...
Don't tell me it was those chinchillas again.
No, it wasn't the rodents this time. It was the mayor.
La Syndica, you gave my Garand to the mayor?
I didn't have a choice. She was gonna shut me down.
Porca miseria! Did she mention why she wants the Garand?
She didn't say. She must be planning a safari trip, thanks to the taxpayers, of course.
Yes, of course. That must be what she's doing. My associate will drop by to collect the merchandise. Pronto. And then someday, you and I must have a little talk about supply and demand. Let me give you a preview. You need to supply exactly what I demand. Capisce?
It won't happen again, dear. I promise.
Good evening, Viper.
Ja, Viper. Viper Hyper. Und ab in den Park. Muss ja jetzt die Party schon am Ausrasten. Aber wir können ja erstmal nochmal hier lang schauen. Müssen wir hier noch jemanden? Ah, jetzt ist jemand da. Wie One synchronisiert. Mr. Vasquez. Fluchtwege doppelt geprüft. So.